Let's
Nick,
go!
what's good, gang?
Yo, we have JPro on the live. He's in the
My
car.
guy.
How's it going, dude?
Bro, I'm great. I can't lie to you. I was just finishing getting a fade, so I had to. I couldn't.
Yo,
I had to do it right, my man.
let's go. Let's go. So you're in the parking lot of your haircut place?
Bro, I am. I jumped on it real fast. My phone was on like 4%. I was like, we gotta charge it real fast. We're going in.
We're going.
It's good,
Okay, so I've got a lot of questions, so I say we just do it.
bro.
Make it
Let's go.
the first JPro interview officially.
A fish, bro. You are. Yes, that is true. Truth.
One day,
Truth.
and Sway Lee about this interview.
That is accurate. Accuracy.
Yeah, so let's just jump into it. I want to ask you first off, for people that don't know you, this is JPro. He is self-proclaimed the next up-and-coming clean rapper on TikTok. Just in the past, I'd say maybe 2 weeks, you've gone from like 10,000 TikTok followers, and you are at 55,000 now, I think.
Facts.
And you're getting a lot of love out there. The way I found you was a few weeks ago. My brother showed me one of your videos when you were probably at 8 or 9K, and immediately, you stood out to me.
Love.
You're different, and I really liked it. And so I've been trying to make this happen. I'm gonna make a YouTube video about all of this, and hopefully we can, figure something out. We can get on a track and
We're gonna, bro. Let's get it.
and make it happen. So my first question to you is, let's just hear what your upbringing is, what got you into music, basically the gist of who is JPro.
Wow. Nick, well, I just have to start by saying, dude, I'm honored to be you interviewing me, dude. Thank you for hitting me up. It's love. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and shout out to your brother for showing love. So, man, my upbringing, I was born into a musical household in a suburb of Minneapolis called Fridley. My mom graduated, from the high school. I have two siblings. They both graduated. And, man, I heard Nike's on My Feet when I was like 13, 14. And my brother showed me this new song. And I was like, wow, this song's crazy. Got into Wiz Khalifa and Mac Miller. And then I just fell in love with rap and started to make some in high school. But man, I was like, I think we all kind of know when we're doing something out of character. Even when we're young, I feel like in our soul, we know like something's not right here. But I was still pressing forward making music, and my music was super dirty. Like, a few people locally knew me, but, I was just living something that wasn't me. And man, when I was 18, I had this dream that really changed my life. And like, I won't get into the details of the dream too much, but I'll just tell you, I basically saw Satan in the dream, and I was like, I woke up crying out of the dream, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I ran down to my parents who were awake downstairs, and I was like, yo, can you pray for me? And they prayed for me, and after that, it wasn't as much like I just came to realization that like, yo, like God is real, like our actions do matter. And like there was just something about like, yo, rap music needs something that like is hard for people who love like lit party music, but isn't like, man, it isn't like terrible. Like it's not like, yeah, bro, it's crazy. So I'm not gonna lie. Some two people just pulled up in this car in front of me, and they're like wilding right now. Super wilding. Yeah, kick dude out of the car right now. That's crazy. So yeah, man, I just knew that there was like that there was a need for this in my soul. I was like, you know what? I think I can do this, and I stopped swearing. And so that was pretty much my upbringing, bro. I got into entrepreneurial ventures after that, but man, that was how it all started, brother.
Dang. So how old are you right now?
I'm 24. I will be 25 December 17th.
Nice. And
Yes.
where are you at right now?
Um, in Minnesota still.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Cool. So today I dove into the new album, Pressure Makes.
Love.
Great. The cover really is jarring, but it stands out, you know? It's like it catches your eye and you're like, what's going on here? Um, and so let me make sure it's a little frozen right now. Let me make sure it reconnects. We're gonna wait a second. He's gone. Nick, you will be nothing compared to JPro. I want to shout out my friend Ro in the chat. Ro's up in the chat. JPro's up next. I'm seeing a lot of JPro's up next. Jump out of bed. What I'm about to eat. Oh no! Where'd he go? Damn. Here we go. Let's see if we can get him back in. He said check rehouse. There we go.
Dang, yo, I'm just the comments are so much. I'm just trying to focus on you, my guy. I'm glad we're
I
back.
know.
Forgive me.
It's hard to focus. I'm looking at the comments too. You have, you have a crazy fan base of people who send the weirdest stuff to you. But a lot of it feels like it's in good faith, luckily. Where there's a lot of love in the community. I feel like it's really great.
That really is it, dude. I was going through some messages last night, and I'm like, wow, people are wild and outrageous. But it's good though. We're high energy, and when we're lit, so we're going up.
Yeah. So I jumped into the new album, Pressure Makes Diamonds. Great cover, as I was saying. And I just kind of was making my way through. I know you've been making music. You have a lot of releases on Spotify, but this is kind of your first big thing. And you know, I wanted to go through the album, and I have a lot of questions, but I'll start out with these first two songs. First two songs, just a great introduction to you. I encourage everyone to listen through because a lot of people know Jump, a lot of people know Meant to Be, but there is a lot of stuff in there. Your first song, Shrug, talks about self-love. You don't need approval from anybody but yourself. And there's a line that really stands out to me about giving yourself a hug. And I was like, man, no rappers are out there talking about giving. Who talks about that? Um, You've got another song, second song, Love You Haters, talks about, you know, some more specific stories, business fallouts you've had in your life, how you're not going to get down on yourself even if you're screwed over. And the way you rap about things isn't about, you know, isn't normal for your everyday rapper that you find on SoundCloud or just in the mainstream. So what was it? I know you talked about your talk with Satan, which is a little.
It wasn't. It sounds so deep. It's such a deep thing that I'm hesitant telling people because people are like, "What?" you know. But you know what influenced those songs is kind of what you're asking.
Yeah. What brought you to say that you're gonna be different than your normal rapper, you know?
Yeah, bro. It's just not who I am. I love rap music, and I just am not. I'm not the guy who's out here, you know, selling weed. I used to sell weed in high school. I'm not that guy. Like,
Hmm.
there was a period in my life where, you know, I'm just like, you know what? I really got to figure out what I stand for, and I love rap music, and I love music, and I just want there to be an option in the marketplace that is positive. I think there's a lot of music that is just soul sucking instead of soul giving. And
Yeah,
although it's lit, like that stuff's great and has its place in time, right? But I wanted there to be an option that is like fills your soul but still gets you lit. And so that's really where that came out of for sure.
that's great. And I know you don't talk about it a lot in your music, but I there is one song. What was the song? Love You Haters. You talk a little bit about your relationship with God, religion. Um, would you consider yourself a religious rapper? Because you talk about a lot of like general values that you want to have, and you know, in family, health, business, but there's not. You're not really like a Christian rapper, you know? Made you decide to not like put yourself in that box?
I'm not, you know, because I realized that that's not me. I'm not. You know, that again goes back to that. Like, I love Lecrae, I love Andy Mineo, I love these guys, and man, kudos to them for the paths they've paved. But I wanted there to be something that was just virtues based and
Mhm.
not like vices based. That wasn't like dependent on a certain religion, or wasn't, you know, that just promoted good virtues and was lit. And I don't think we have anything like that outside of me right now in music that I've heard, at least,
Yeah.
for rap. So yeah, bro, that's how to, just a deep desire in my gut to be like, yo, the youth needs something like this. We need it.
Yeah, and it definitely, you can see those people crowding around that because it's really cool to see.
Which is
So
crazy, bro. I just want to say, like, dude, I was not expecting. So if you look at Look Like That, which was my first music video that I ever put out, that, like, it was not well accepted at all. And that was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And so I've been going through the last 3 years, just like, you know, doing the dots of entrepreneurship, of doing marketing campaigns, and like selling products and creating courses and like doing all that stuff. And I guess I just matured enough for it to be acceptable, but I was not expecting like this fast of love. But you know what it goes to show, and I really want to make this point, is like, what you put out, you do get back, like, for sure, 100%. Because I've realized that is what I've given out, is just steady like love, and that is what I've received back. So I guess in those terms, it really makes sense. But it really has been crazy, and I'm so grateful. It's been amazing.
yeah, I think it's great what TikTok can sometimes do to people who, you know, are able to put out the work and show that they're there, and then, you know, you can find that that like niche group of people and grow from there. And you know, hopefully it's up from here. That's what it seems like. It's going fast. So yeah, I want to talk about what your hit song is right now, one of them, which is Meant to Be. It's this inspiring song about, you know, through all your struggle, it was worth it because, you know, everything that's happened to me. Yeah, it was meant to be. You know, you guys know the lyrics in the chat.
They be blowing it up.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that this ended up being the one to blow up because the lyrics are just so like dead on, you know, about everything being meant to be and how
I
this is
know.
gonna be the future or whatever.
Yeah.
So when you wrote this song, you know, you've written a lot of music and you had this whole slated album coming out. Did you think that this was going to be the song, this or Jump? Did you think either of those were going to be the two that were going to be, you know, your hits, or was it just, you know?
Yeah, it's a good question, bro. I've I didn't, and I don't, honestly. When I'm going through and making a body of music, it feels like I'll just create it and then listen back to the songs and
Mm-hmm.
go, okay, what are the standouts? Like, what are the one or two that is like, you know, one or two or three that are standout on the album that could be singles? And I think that's what it was, to answer your question, because I wasn't 100% sure when I made the album. But you know, yeah, I think after the fact, I have like a gut check of like, okay. And the thing is, too, is I didn't have people listening to the music. You know what I'm saying? It, like, I posted on my story the other day. I had 15 streams on Meant to Be like 2 months ago, and there was like
Yeah.
0 people listening now. And I was just going through my photos like from 2 months ago when that single was released, and so now there's a little bit of feedback. I can play something, right, and hear like, yo, are they rocking with this? Are they not rocking with it? Right. But yeah, I would say it's just gut, like, after the fact, for sure.
That's awesome. Let's talk about, you know, another thing about your come up, which is one of your songs, Carefree, later in the album. You specifically talk about moving to San Francisco. You were there for 3 years. This app. Tell us about this story. Let's hear your origin.
So in Carefree, okay, so here's the story. I did theater in high school, Fridley High School, and I loved theater, and I got awarded every year, although that is not pertinent to the situation. It was just like where the competition, I think, started for me. My brother got like 2 Spotlight Awards. They're theater awards that are given in Minneapolis. And I was like, all right, bet. He's like, he got like 2 or 1. And I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna get one every year. So
Yeah.
I ended up doing that, and I really wanted to act. I wanted to go out in LA and act, but it was expensive, and I didn't have money at the time to do that, even though I was like, you know, working, serving at like Perkins and stuff like that. But I said, you know what? I grew up with a phone in my hand. I grew up, you know, in middle school, coming into high school with the phone in my hand, and like really the first generation to do that. I bet, you know, I can write code. And so I was like, okay, well, sure, I can write code. It seems easy enough. And I looked, I was like, okay, number one, you don't need a degree because I'm not going to college, which is where the no college kind of mixtape came out of. And I said, you know, I can buy a course on it and learn it, and I can make 65 grand a year out the gate doing this. So I did that, and I made an app, and I got hired by a fellow Minnesotan who was living in San Francisco, teaching at a place called Draper University in San Francisco. And Draper University houses hundreds of international entrepreneurs in one building that this billionaire, like, Nick, if you were to make like a Disney Channel documentary about entrepreneurship, this would be the place. It's a hotel that all these international kids visit. It's painted like Legos, and it's all, but it's funded by like the Godfather, the grandson of the Godfather of Silicon Valley. The guy is like owns $4 billion, like bought the building for like $100 million. But anyway, so I get hired to work on this app, this startup, and I'm like, okay, bet I'm gonna go make a few $1 million real fast. Do, right? Super easy. That's all you do. You just make $1 million. You learn how to code and you make $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And so I went out there and I worked with him for a year and a half, and I went like, we spent time at Draper University. We spent about, I don't know, 4 months there. And then I moved in with him in his apartment in the Marina District in San Francisco. And at the time and he was 32 at the time. And so there was a big age difference as far as like maturity. And, but I just decided, we had a falling out one night. We were both just overwhelmed, and we just had a falling out, and I had signed on for 250,000 shares of stock in this startup, and we had a falling out, and I came back to Minneapolis with my fam, and I was like, you know what? I bet I could do this. I bet I could make an app myself, make money off it, and do that. And so I came back and I left the startup, and pretty much since then, I've just been creating different business ventures, always with the purpose of like, okay, music is gonna be it, but I believe that I needed money. I needed a lot of money to make this music happen. Now what I realize is you don't. You just need, you know, heart and a lot of consistency. So then, yeah, that's the story behind that, bro.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
So I lost the shares. Needless to say, I forfeited the shares because I left early.
That's good. That's good. That's obviously like a testament to your character as well, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about music now is that, you know, you don't need to catch the eye of some like executive guy that's not, you know, one of the people that actually listens to music. You know, everyone's making music in their bedroom. And putting it out there, and then, you know, anyone can catch your eye, and you don't need, but, you know, money isn't always king, you know?
I mean, you are living proof of that with the fan base you built, dude. I mean, you're funny and you're entertaining. So like, I mean, that builds it, right?
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, TikTok, YouTube, and all that stuff has definitely shifted that industry, and it's, you know, it's going to be good for people like us, you know?
Dude, Kanye just did 220 million streams in a day, dude, or like 3 days, whatever it was, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. So, okay, let's talk about production. I've seen that you've worked with someone named Fly Melodies. I don't know what else you do for production, or if you've, you know, gone into producing yourself at all, but
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I know about Fly from perusing the internet and finding beat makers who would sell licenses that were good licenses, and he just has slaps. And I've like literally he messaged me yesterday. It's the first time I've talked to him in 3 years of using his music.
Wow.
Um, uh, and so I just found him online, bro. Another person I work with is Blasian Beats, Snaps, but like Cody, I worked with, who's if just CXDY, he's a super producer. He did Meant to Be, and he just reached out to me the other day. So I produced on the album Shrug and Empathy. I think those are the only two I produced, and then I produced a few on the last album. But yeah, man, these days I feel like it's more just consolidation and working with others to make that happen. But
Yeah, that's great. Let's talk about one of the songs that you produced then. Empathy is one that seems to be in the chat. Everyone's like, gotta talk about empathy, gotta talk about. So yeah, let's hear the story behind Empathy. I also have I have a question about a lyric in there. So let's hear where that came from.
I mean, I don't have time. I make memories. I don't judge you. I have empathy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Behind
Empathy, I also have.
Oh no!
1 sec. I have a question about a lyric in there.
Oh no! I thought the Matrix was glitching, bro. I was like, no! Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
I'm trying to record my screen for the interview in Logic.
Dude, you are. No worries.
So yeah.
Gang. No worries. Hey, everyone in the comments, I just appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Nick being great at what he does and listening to the album, asking good questions. Appreciate y'all.
Let's go. So let's see it. Let's talk about this. I'm gonna go to the lyric and empathy, but the lead up to that question is, in Jump you make a reference. My Rocky cutscene started in 2016. Great lyric. And you talk about Sylvester Stallone. Are you like a huge Rocky fan? Where does this come from?
That's good, bro. I am a big Tony Robbins fan. And I love Tony. He really changed my life. And Tony Robbins, in one of his interviews, talks about how Rocky, Sylvester Stallone's stories, he wrote Rocky. I'm not sure if you're familiar at all, but he wrote the entire thing. And I actually posted on my story the other day. He did a video of driving by the place where he wrote it, and he had a picture of him writing the script. Crazy.
Wow.
But he wrote that, and Tony talks about in a conversation they have that he one of the lowest points of his life was selling his dog outside of a gas station or outside of a liquor store to eat, basically. And so I mentioned that in there, but also Alex Hormozy is another very established entrepreneur who's done a lot, and he talks about there's putting both of those together. There's a Rocky cutscene in everyone who's successful story. I'll give this example for this. So like Steve Jobs, he was forced to do some type of arts class when he was in college, and he chose typography. And at the time he was like, typography, I don't even want to do that. This is going to be the most boring class, and he ended up later saying that, when he started making Apple, had he not gone to that typography class, he would not have Apple as it is today. He would not have, the design language of Apple. And so that's kind of the Rocky cutscene I mean, bro. Like, if you're chasing for something, what I've found to be true is, like, expect some time where the dots don't align and you're just trying different things, and be okay just trying different things, because That's definitely what I've experienced. Like the last 3 years have been just a lot of trial and error on different stuff. But it's brought me now to the point where I can go, okay, I can market the music, I can make the music, and I can, monetize it. I know how to monetize it, which is pretty much all I need. So that's kind of what I mean, bro. It's just that Rocky Cut scene, mine started 2016, 2020 was really, really this year, it's been 2016 to 2021. So.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. So you also make a reference. This is about empathy. You make a reference to Mortal Kombat. Tell me about that, but also anything else from pop culture. TVs, movies, video games that affect your music, or how you think about it. I know you do the same thing with sports as well. Like what?
Yeah. Love. You're asking great questions, dude. I think it's important to, man, just relate stuff that we can all like come around, I feel like where I have made the biggest creative oversights, and what I mean by that is the biggest, like, not paying attention to what people are wanting, is just not making it relatable or making it like too corny, and so I feel like just injecting things like that out of my own experience is also what's popular. I've studied Drake, I've studied these people, and I continue to, and how they write, and if you listen to it, it's almost all like details about their life. And so I kind of take, TB12, Gronkowski, all those different things, and just hope to string them together in a way that makes logical sense.
Great. Okay, let's talk about some stuff outside of your specific music. But what are some albums that have come out this year so far that stand out to you?
Man, Donda has been crazy, bro. What you think?
I'm enjoying Donda a lot. I put out a little like mini review on Twitter. My top songs. I got Jail, Off the Grid, Pure Souls, and Come to Life are my top 4. Off the Grid. Yeah, Off the Grid. The verses on that from Everyone 5 Yo Foreign, Kanye's verse. Is Cardi on that one too? Just good across the board. That's probably my favorite song on the whole album.
Love. It's a good album, dude. I've rocked with that, and I've seen that, I've seen that consensus by a lot of people, as a lot of music fans just appreciate, what Kanye has done there. CLB is going to be great. I haven't really dove into it. I've listened to it through once, but I need to spend some time with it. I love Drake, and I've appreciated Drake for years. And so CLB's big. What else? What else have I put in my collection this last year? Do you have any in mind that were big releases? Well, Tyler, the Creator's album, although I haven't really listened to Tyler too much, I'm rocking with him. That guy's a killer, dude.
Yeah.
He's good. I like Tyler, but yeah, those are really what stand out to me right now. What comes to mind for you, bro?
For 2021, it's tough because not a lot. It hasn't been a crazy year so far. 2020 had a lot of stuff that I liked. I'm gonna go through my, the Czarface album that came out after MF Doom passed was really great. Brockhampton came out with a pretty solid record. And then my favorite rap album probably of all time, which came out in 2020, Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats Unlocked. They came out with a remix album this year that was also really great.
Your favorite?
Yeah, I love that album. It's very close to me. Hold on, my friend just got here. I'm gonna let her in.
Hey, Nick, where your friend? Adrian. Hey, I love y'all. Of course I love Italy. Someone commented, JPro, do you love Italy? Of course I do. I love everyone. What does JPro think of A Whole Lotta Red? I think Whole Lotta Red is slaps, but I'm going to be honest. I skipped out listening to A Whole Lotta Red for a while because I knew what it would make me feel like. I knew it would make me feel like not good for a lot of songs because the contents of all the songs are just like killing and like sex and like all that. And
Yeah.
you know, you what you put in your head, you become. You know, so I think there's a time and place for bangers, and I have songs on Whole Lotta Red. Meh is one of my favorites. That song slaps. But yeah, dude, I love that record. It's a good record.
Yeah.
But Denzel Curry, bro, I need to listen to that record, dude. I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, you should get into it. Unlocked, Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats, great album. Another album came out in Run the Jewels for their 4th album was really great. All things you should listen to. But you know, still at the end of the day, none of that stuff is, you know, is super positive, you know? It's the positive rap, the clean stuff.
True, bro.
That's what the people want.
Hitting different.
Yeah, exactly. So in that sense, what would you say your dream collabs are? If you had to pick 2 or 3 rappers that one day you'd want to, you know, feature with, who would they be?
Drizzy, Kanye. Who would be 3? Number 3. Drizzy, Kanye. Trav.
That's great.
I'd rock with Drizzy. I'd rock with those 3 for sure.
And then let's say, you know, out of anyone, you know, dead or alive, let's say you can put
Smiley.
together a dream rap song, 3 rappers and 1 producer. What would your team up be?
3 rappers and 1 producer. Am I featured or is this just best song ever?
This is the best song. You can
best
make
song.
make you one of the rappers.
Bro, low key, facts. You know, man. Best song, 3 artists and a producer. Oh man. Well, there's so many different genres of music, but just for rap, I think I would have to say, man, honestly, there's a hard question, bro.
Yeah.
Drake would have to be on there. Drake's definitely top 3. I mean, Drizzy, Pharrell for production probably, or like who else is absolute slaps right now? Yeah, Pharrell or like Hit Boy. Maybe like I would probably rock with like a modern Drizzy, Big Sean with like Hit Boy production, and throw like I was gonna say Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj would be hard on that song, but I would say I'd say like I don't know, bro. Throw like Kali Uchis on there, something wild that would just. Yeah, exactly, bro. I think that would be it.
That's awesome. Okay, let's see. We got a few more questions here. You know, you have a couple songs where you open up a little bit more. You've got your song Fight, THC. You know, and one of your lyrics in THC is very specific. So it says, I had Joe Ang call me up and act like I didn't give you 20K all legally. Is that I was gonna ask you what the story is, but we already heard it.
Yeah, you haven't heard it, bro. That's a different story, big dog.
JPro's been through a couple lifetimes.
Bro, I had the route, bro. I've been through the ringer, my guy.
Okay, well, tell us about it. Is Joe Ang his real name?
That is my guy's real name. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And you do that a lot. You have a lot of different. Like you'll be like, oh, like William screwed me out of like.
I know. They're all people who've been in the journey. I'm just name dropping. Hey, low key, I was with Will the other day and we saw Joe. Okay, so here's the story. So in 2018, I had so I went to LA and dropped No College on my own in 2018, and I was 21 at the time. And 2018, I think it was. Yeah, 2018. And I came back and I was trying to figure out what to do with my life. And I figured, you know, I always had music in my gut. And I met this guy through a friend who said he was like doing shows for Tory Lanez and was like, oh, I bring Tory Lanez to Minneapolis. Like, I'm a big promoter in the city. Like, I've done, you know, he'll just name drop like 5 people. And I was like, oh my gosh, bro, like, we need to hang out, you know, like,
Yeah.
because that was my vision. I was like, bro, I need someone on my team who's on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first, like, literally day number 2, he's telling me he's like a show promoter, and day number 2 he's like, yo, I'm bringing Tory Lanez to Minneapolis, do you want to invest in it and get a cut of profit? And I was like, okay, bet. And invested. And I was running a company with a guy named Will at the time, and I brought him into the situation. And so us 3 started doing the business together. And over the course of about 2.5 months, Will and I had invested a total of about $20,000 with him for shows.
Okay.
And this was over like 7, 8 shows. It was like we were going to do Gunna and Tory and like, it was all these different shows. But he ended up lying. I ended up figuring out it was all a lie and that what he was saying was not true. And so that's what that's about, bro. And then, you know, towards the end of that, you know, Will, and I totally get it, but Will and I were business partners at first, and like Will and I went through it. And like he sided with Joe for a little bit, and like you know, it was the whole scenario that it was like life. He sided with him, and then I was like, bro, I got to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
And we ended up becoming friends again later and working together, and man, but that's that story, dude. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, let's.
Yeah, dog.
You've been put through the ringer, as you say.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, I wanna start getting this wrapped up, but I do have a couple more. Verse 2 of THC. I was listening through your album. THC was one I hadn't heard before, and it hit verse 2, and that has to probably be my favorite JPro verse, where you're like, baby, look at me, I'm so handsome, and I forgot what you said.
Got my bands up. Come on now.
Got your bands up.
Yeah.
That's what.
But
love
baby,
that
close
song.
your eyes, I'm a mess, yeah. And to be honest, I like 50,000 debt, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get catchier than that. And you know, a lot of your stuff is I'm sure you've heard is very much like an earworm for people. Like you'll hear it, and at first you'll be like, I don't know about that, and then you'll hear yourself humming it to yourself, and next thing you know, you're singing it to all your friends, and it just becomes everything. How do you come up with your melodies? Where do you start in songwriting? What gets you to the point where suddenly you're, I'm ready?
Yeah.
How do you get there?
Yeah, literally. Wow, that actually fit perfectly. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was really worth a good transition. The way you transition the sentence with the lyric, it was hard. It's hard. It's gut, dude. It's gut. I mean, even I'm writing songs every day. And all the songs, what I'm finding is like it's gut, and then I'll put scenarios behind the gut, pretty much, and then I'll just detail them and wrap them to a verse. It's very organic. A lot of the songs on Pressure Makes Diamonds don't have a lot of space. It's a lot of chorus, verse, and there isn't much room to breathe. Yeah. I think since then I've realized that, and I've incorporated that a lot more in. And so that it's organic because of that, I would say. I realize that I need to do that, which is just more so like what, a lot of rap was built on, which is, just the soul coming out pretty much. So, yeah.
What other genres have you been listening to besides rap? Is rap like your only thing, or is there anything else, any other artists?
I am rocking with everything, my guy. I love listening to drum and bass. I love listening to like Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett. I'll pull out some classical. I'll pull out Pure Meditation on Apple Music. I love jazz. I really just love music. As far as specific people from those, I love like K Tronada. I love
Hmm.
K Tronada. I love what Joe K does with selection. Um, Man, what else? Man, this new Keith Carson tape is hard, fire.
Hmm.
That's rap, but I wanted to shout that out because
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's fire. Yeah, bro. It really is a mood thing for me, bro. If I wanna tap in and just focus, it's a lot of just like easy like meditation music or like classical. Um, if I want to get lit, like I'm about to after this interview on the way home
Yeah.
driving, I'm gonna get lit. I'm gonna play some. What I'm gonna play on the way back? I'll probably play a banger from CLB. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably play like "Too Sexy," which bangs. That song slaps.
Great.
That music video is crazy, by the way. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
Awesome. Okay, I missed this question. This is one I have to ask. You get a lot of weird comments on your TikTok. One of the ones that comes up a lot is about how you need to start making hyperpop music. Do you know a lot about hyperpop? Have you listened to it? Like, what's your response, official response to that? Like, what is it a possibility?
I am familiar, and I have heard that so many times over the last few weeks of just people being like, "You got to make hyperpop." Someone made a remix. I think there's been a few remixes made that are out.
Someone who produces for my band, she made a remix. Ro, I don't know if you've seen her on Twitter. I'll send it to you. But
Yeah.
she's one of the best producers like I've ever met, and she made one.
Yo, shout out Ro.
Crazy, it's crazy.
That's
But
love.
we could get you on hyperpop. It's on the come up.
It is, bro. I think for me right now, what I'm doing is I have such a specific vision for how I want to grow and what I want to stand for that I'm really focused on rap. I will say that for like hyperpop songs, like a lot of the beats on this next EP that I'm gonna drop, which was announced right here live, just so you all know, the next thing will be an EP. Shout out. But which will come pretty soon. Y'all see announcements on that. But we got to get through a few music videos first. We got to get through Jump music video.
For real.
I think hyperpop's lit, dude. The kids are cooking it up, bro. I'm with it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make it, but if I stumble upon sounding like that, I am with it. Let's go.
That's great. That is awesome. Let me see if I have any questions, and then we can get to the good stuff. I think we're ready. So you announced it here. There's gonna be a JPro EP coming out.
That is a new one, bro.
And we're lucky enough to have a snippet right here.
Oh dang, dude!
And so I'm gonna play it for everyone.
Oh dang, dude!
Hopefully it'll be easy to hear through the speakers. But do you want me to say what the title is?
Nah, you can just play it. Just play that.
Here's the snippet. Exclusive here. Nick is not green interview.
Nick is not.
Okay, let's get it. Here we go.
Hey, look. KD, give me gold. What? I control my zone. Go! Beast mode. Yo, what? Feel like Mad Max. About to bust the skulls. Feel like Mad Max. About to bust the skulls.
Let's go! Oh my goals. What? Fruit tree.
Because I saw you in that dream.
Whoa!
That's Satan.
Whoa!
Like the culture family.
Whoa!
He's doing his own ad-lib.
Like the culture family. I see a hero and I think
Look at me.
I'm a queen. I get the diamonds. Give me a ring.
Whoa! Hey, turn it off, Nick. Cut it, bro.
Cut it,
bro. It's too much, bro.
Don't let him get too much.
Bro, it's heating up, bro. My phone's gonna overheat, dog. We gotta cut it, bro.
We gotta cut it.
Cut it, dog.
All right, dude. Well, hey, this was a very successful first interview. I know we're gonna jump on a track together, but I really appreciate you agreeing to do this. I think it was awesome. You had great answers to everything. We're taking JPro to the moon.
My guy, it's love. Appreciate you reaching out. Appreciate you showing love. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in. You know, we're going up together. The lights of the world, we're going to band up, and it's going to be lit.
We're doing it. All right, dude. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Love.